Morning, everyone, and welcome to the On the Go Post Show with your Go Morning team. I'm Danielle Wiggins, joined with Jasmine Monroe, Holly Strano, Dave Chudowski, and Maureen Kyle. Today, a historic day, Inauguration Day. We're going to talk about that as well as the Mega Millions. But first, how did that roads? Those roads out there, hot mess because of winter conditions. But you do have some good news.
Yeah, the good news is that the winter weather advisory was canceled by the National Weather Service really early, about an hour or so ago, and that was supposed to go till 10 a.m. So at least we're not talking about a lot of additional snow other than a few flurries. But as you mentioned, and we've been chatting here amongst ourselves, roads are still slick from what happened overnight. It's all about timing. And it's cold. So that's the other part. There's going to be icy spots, temperatures only in the 20s through today. Wind chills, it's very blustery, in the teens and even single digits at times. So you still need to allow plenty of time if you're just now tuning into our Facebook show here and hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, did you say 20s?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I was saying.
Don't blame the messenger.
As Jasmine is shocked over there. It is cold and roads are tough. Holly, I know you have to go to WTAM on the phone to give them the weather, but do want to let you all know that 90 eastbound, it is shut down in Ashtabula County because of a crash. Again, tricky conditions out there. 90 eastbound between State Route 7 and the Ohio-PA border. You can try taking US 20 as a detour option. 90 eastbound, there is some slow traffic as you approach 7. So it looks like you're going to be diverted off of the highway at 7, and then you can make your way to 20. But like we were saying, again, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section. But like, again, we were saying, today is a historic day with the inauguration of the 46th President-elect Joe Biden, and then Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. And this morning, Jasmine Monroe, you had an amazing story about the significance of Vice President-elect Kamala Harris being sworn in today. She's expected to be sworn in at around 11:30 this morning. But tell us a little bit more about the significance her swearing in means to the nation.
Well, first off, it was just such a great story. This is exactly what, when I was a little girl, dreaming about doing, covering news that's fair and balanced and covering important stories to the nation. So today, no matter what side of the aisle you are on, this is a very historic day. This is the first female vice president. And it's a great feeling for women across the board. So I was able to talk to a few different women across Northeast Ohio. These women are a part of her sorority. Some women are a part of her sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And pretty much the message that stood out to me the most was from Joyce Walker. She is from the Shaker Heights area, and she said she is from Selma, Alabama. And she said when she was a little girl, she remembers those church bombings, and never in a million years would she think that there would be a vice president-elect that is a female who will be in office. So she said it's just such a good feeling across the board for her. Also, I got a chance to talk to some of the cute little girls of our WKYC family. I got a chance to talk to Maureen's girls. Sorry, Maureen. I called Maureen. What time was it? 7:30 at night.
Oh,
hey,
no, it was only 5:30. I was cooking dinner. They were running around. They loved it.
So
They did it. I have to say thank you for you didn't air the clip of Millie picking her nose, saying I can be whatever I want. That's my wild child.
Mo, you are so hilarious.
So adorable. And Brandon Simmons, if you ever get a chance to watch the 5 p.m. and the 6 p.m., he has 2 little girls too. I just try to include some of the girls on the show, get them involved, just to see how they feel about what's going on. Dave and Danielle, you two both have daughters. What are they feeling like during this time? Because I know I was talking to my sister and she's 18, but she just texted me like, isn't it a good day? And I'm like, yes, it is, Kayla. This is a great day.
You're on mute, Dave. You're on mute. Yes. There you go.
Wow, I had some really good insight with some laughs and everything.
No one has ever been on mute on these things, but we have the Zoom first. Go ahead, Dave.
Must have bumped it by accident. My bad. No, I was just gonna say that was a great story, Jasmine. And my daughters just asked me the other day, and my wife and myself, and they said, "Hey, has a female ever been president of the United States?" And they actually knew that answer, but they didn't know about the vice president because obviously, we went through that with Hillary Clinton trying to become president, right? But they asked, they didn't know if a female had ever been vice president. So that really struck a chord with them as well. And it's definitely something. And you even see it with the story we had today with the NFL referee that's a female.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just seeing more and more of this. And that's really great for young kids and young females to see.
And one of the photos that Jasmine, you had in your package is the future is female. And I like that with Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. My daughter, she just turned 10 and she's very confident. And it's interesting because, she likes to see those type of things. And I can definitely see her in the future in some type of leadership position. But again, the inauguration today, but it's going to look a little different, right, Dave?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, because of the pandemic, right? So President-elect Biden and Kamala Harris, they'll be sworn in on the west front of the Capitol building today. Biden will lay out his vision for the presidency, and then they'll visit the Arlington National Cemetery to visit the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So it's gonna definitely be different. And then there's also the tightened restrictions with security in the airspace and above and around Washington, D.C. on the ground. You're going to have 25,000 National Guard troops. Pentagon says a dozen troops have been removed. So after 10 were flagged in an FBI background checks and various issues. So, definitely a different scene we're going to see today like none other.
Yeah, a lot of the events as well are virtual. And then, Mo, transitional tradition may not happen today between President Trump and President-elect Joe Biden.
Yeah, there's a lot that's different. There are a lot of traditions that are going to be skipped. I mean, President Trump is not even attending the inauguration. That's for one. And then also, we talked about it this morning. There's that traditional presidential letter where the outgoing president leaves the incoming president just a simple note. And it could be, here's what you need to know. Here's what I've learned. Here are some words of inspiration. And a Case Western Reserve professor of political science talked with us and said he doesn't think that letter is going to happen. We have not gotten any indication that it would. And it's a slight tradition. It's just... it's not going to make or break a presidency, obviously. It's just one of those little things that I'm sure ends up in some sort of library, some sort of presidential library somewhere one day. And he was saying, even if it's skipped once, he thinks that Joe Biden would pick it up again when he leaves office, whoever the next incoming president would be. But it's those little things that that's just one example. I think we're missing a lot of those traditions because of either the pandemic, because of the strained relationship between the outgoing president and incoming president. So those are little things that we'll see as they play out today, which ones don't get picked up.
Yeah, and hearing from a number of you in the comment section, Doris Walker, she said, my daughter is so inspired to see again someone who looks like her, and now a beautiful Black woman that will be our vice president. And we know, Kamala Harris, she is mixed heritage, both Black and South Asian Pacific. So yeah, it's a historic day. And I'm seeing a number of you saying you're watching. Tina, she'll definitely be watching and celebrating America's move forward. We do have a number of Trump supporters on here as well. So we appreciate your perspective as well on today's events. And also something that's topping headlines today, and Mo, you said this as we are about to wrap up, the Mega Millions. You said you had a story that you wanted to share. So I had to wait. I had to give you some time to share it. But let me give you the numbers. They are 10, 19, 26, 28, 50, and 16. No one got all of them.
Darn it.
I was just off by 6 numbers.
If you get five, you get $1 million. But so Mo, really quickly before you have to go off to the Today Show.
I tweeted this out because it was just sort of like, I am like many other people where I don't regularly play, but when the jackpot gets this high, it's like, well, now I feel like I have to at least throw my numbers in the ring, right?
Right.
So, kind of last minute yesterday afternoon, I go to a little deli down the street from me. And I walk in and covering it at gas stations, you go to the counter and you ask for tickets. And they're like, oh, no, we have a machine over there. And so I look at this machine and I have no idea how to use this machine. And then there's a guy who works there and goes, oh, let me turn it on for you. And this is middle of the afternoon. And I said, you haven't had people coming in and out all day? He goes, oh, no, it just shuts off all the time. So let me restart it for you. And he basically hits it and turns a key. And
that's why you didn't win, Bo. That's why you didn't win.
Do I trust this? But then I was thinking about the movie Big and that Zoltar machine.
Yeah.
How he unplugged. Yeah. And I'm like, this could be a good sign. It's either a really bad omen or a really good one. And then I looked at my numbers and it was like, unless they pull 1, 2, and then 67 in a row, I don't think I'm winning. It was like, I got the worst numbers. So good luck to everyone else.
I learned to always sign the back of your lottery ticket from, I think the movie's called All About the Benjamins. It's my ex. So he lost his lottery ticket. So,
Mark
sign the back of your ticket.
Mark, my husband, was so mad that I mentioned that I bought a lottery ticket. He's like, well, no people know that you bought a lottery ticket. I'm like, yes, I have a losing lottery ticket. I don't think anybody's gonna knock me over the head and steal my losing lottery ticket.
Oh, goodness. Marie always has the best stories, I tell you. So we'd love to hear them. And we, of course, love hearing your stories as well in the comment section. Thank you for joining us for a few minutes for this On The Go post show. We will see you tomorrow morning